looks like the world just shifted into third gear and put its foot to the floor. And now we're heading towards crazy at, well, like 100 miles an hour. Now that'd be 161 kilometers an hour for all my Canadian folk. Silver was hit with a sledgehammer at the end of last week, with rumors that they were making up silver out of thin air. Creating even more paper silver, that is. So they could dump it into the market and force the price down. I haven't confirmed these rumors yet, but silver is down like 30% since my last video, which was about the silver price and how silver affects fiat. Honestly, the people running our financial systems, they seem near panic at this moment. And, they know they're sitting on a house of cards, but they also know that they hold all the cards. I mean, their house is made of them after all, isn't it? I mean, top of all that, we have the AI-driven layoffs starting with thousands of different sectors, both in Canada and the US. I've read that over 50,000 jobs were lost to AI in 2025 in North America. And from what people are saying, well, we're just getting started. I mean, from simple tech jobs to salespeople to marketing and phone services. I mean, this is just the first round of AI stealing our jobs and replacing people. At least anyone whose job is, well, mostly in the digital realm. People who make videos for YouTube, for example. Ah, dang. Yeah. That's me, obviously. I don't actually even make any money doing this for YouTube. And yet YouTube wants to replace me with AI anyway, while telling me straight to my face that they aren't doing that. I mean, who are you supposed to trust anymore anyway? But it comes down to this: if an AI video gets more attention than one of mine in the first 15 seconds, well, then YouTube is going to put that video in front of you instead of one of mine. I had a very long discussion with Google's AI about all of this, just the free one, the one you access through their search engine. But the whole conversation was, well, quite long, 25 pages after I printed it all out. And at the beginning, it gave me all the standard answers. But the more I questioned it, the more revealing it actually became. Honestly, it's way too much information to cover in this video, but to put it as simply as I can, YouTube is dropping the subscription model for 2026. The one where they put my videos in front of you because you subscribed to my channel and told YouTube that you wanted to watch my videos. Now all that just becomes a data point. YouTube is now changing to an AI model that predicts what you want to watch next. I guess the idea is sort of like, well, if you're watching a cow video, well, then you must just want to watch more cow videos. And if I've only made one cow video, then YouTube doesn't care about your subscription to my channel anymore. Because you clearly care more about cow videos than you do about my content. Or any other creator's content for that matter. This next part, it's me putting the pieces together, and this is my opinion of what YouTube is doing, based on my conversation with Google's AI. It's stated that YouTube's main goal is to keep you on the platform for, well, as long as possible, and to show you as many ads as possible. And they are no longer worrying about the well-being of their creators, or of the creator-subscriber relationship. They honestly feel that creators have, well, nowhere else to go, and that the ones who quit or just give up will be easily replaced by the AI content. They also feel that there are so many videos uploaded every day, and that the general public can't choose what to watch for themselves. I mean, it's too difficult, too complicated for you. So their AI needs to choose for you. I mean, really? YouTube was already a very difficult place to operate and figure out through 2025. And I mean, now with this, what I'll call an anti-creator, anti-subscriber business model that's brand new for 2026. I think it's going to get fully ridiculous. You know that YouTube suggests we make AI versions of ourselves so that we can compete with AI? No, thank you. I'll do my best to stay a human version of myself. I mean, it's probably more important now than it's ever been. Welcome to the New World Order. In order to join, all you have to do is give up your soul. I guess I'm being a little hyperbolic here, but if this is 2026, what's 2030 going to look like? And if this is what things are looking like for me, I mean, what's it going to look like for you? During my conversation with AI, we talked briefly about the Industrial Revolution and that we are now in a technical revolution. We need a human revolution to run alongside of it, you know? And I don't mean some violent overthrow of our government. I don't mean that at all. I mean a non-violent renewal of human consciousness and morals. You know, that any technology that is not built to aid us instead of imprison us or spy on us, well, we simply refuse to use or purchase. No digital subscriptions, no services, no payments, well, until this technology gets built for our benefit. AI should be curing cancer, not putting people out of work. Google's model used to be don't be evil. Which leaves me with a conundrum. And as I mentioned earlier, YouTube doesn't pay me a cent, well, on either of my channels, but they do show ads on most of my videos. So in a non-direct way, I'm supporting YouTube financially. And with this new 2026 business model that YouTube is implementing, well, now I'm supporting a business that I really do not agree with. You know, that I think is kind of anti-human. Well, at least for lack of a better phrase. But at the same time, I think it's important to discuss all of these things. You know, to share my thoughts with all of you. I mean, well, but with anyone willing to listen to someone with a different perspective on things, you know. Someone with no globalist agenda that still loves Canada and Canadians. Someone that wishes we would all just get along again and get politics out of our day-to-day lives. So how am I going to deal with this conundrum? Well, I don't actually know yet. I mean, the idea of building a successful channel and a large following on YouTube, well, I mean, it's honestly not even remotely realistic anymore. At least not for someone with opinions like mine, you know. Talking about Canadian and world issues and disagreeing with the powers that be. But don't worry, I'm not quitting. I like talking to all of you, you know, passing on some of the thoughts I have while exploring the back roads and trails of the Caribou. But I do have to accept that all this will be more of a labor of love than any kind of a business or wage. You know, and I do still have gas and tires and cameras to cover. And they're expensive after all. You know, so for the time being, I'm going to treat, well, thoughts from the backroads as, well, what it is. Something I like to do, more of a hobby than a career. You know? Something that won't matter if I get 15 views or 15,000 because I wanted to do it anyway. You know, and the only thing that this is really going to change, I guess, is the frequency of my upload. Instead of attempting to upload a video 5 days a week, I'm going to limit it to 2. And then if something really important happens in the world, or I just feel like I have something to say, well then I'll do more videos. You know, when it comes down to it, I'm just going to have to play all this by ear. YouTube's new business model makes this, well, that kind of changes everything for me, doesn't it? But of course, if YouTube changes its mind again and decides to actually care about its creators and its viewers and do what's right, well then of course I'll revisit all of this again. I mean, in the meantime, I'll keep working on my other channel, Follow the Lens. The fact that it's not a political channel gives me, well, at least a little better chance with YouTube's new direction and their algorithms. God, algorithm is starting to feel like an obscene word these days. I mean, I wish they would just use them for good, instead of evil. I mean, I don't understand how losing respect for both its creators and its audience at the same time is a good business plan for Google or for YouTube. But I guess that's why I'm not a billionaire. Or even a millionaire. And, you know, being a thousandaire just sounds stupid, so. I mean, but really? You've got to be at least a little bit dense to be a YouTuber in the first place. I have no idea what you call a TikToker these days. Well, I think I'm kind of coming to the end of this, but I am trying to find a good place to post my conversation with Google's AI about all of this. I mean, I personally think it's a worthwhile read, and it's pretty revealing, especially by the end of the conversation. So far, the only options I'm seeing is, well, to get a verified account on X, or to put it on Substack, which, well, I know very little about. But as soon as I figure out where I'm putting it, I'll post the link, and I'll add it to the video description as well. You know, during this conversation with AI, who calls itself an efficiency engine, not a moral one, well, I suggested that it was acting like a mirror, which it agreed with. Except that in the couple of days since this conversation's happened, I've been thinking about all this, and AI does act like a mirror, you know, at least to a certain extent. Except it doesn't show us a reflection of ourselves as seen through our own eyes. It shows us a reflection of ourselves, of how the current society sees us, how the globalists and technocrats see us. Be out of line, you're no longer a person, just a problem that needs to be solved. By algorithms that have no emotion, no morals, no soul. You know, but end this whole thing on a more positive note. You know, and as much as the digital world is becoming a bit of an AI globalist-driven alternate dimension, we still have the real world. You know, we can still turn off our computers and put our phones in a drawer and go for a walk or a coffee with some friends, or into the backwoods like I like to do. And, you know, I spent over 30 years on and off working in the digital world. Most of that as a 3D animator, and later as a content creator, but I've also sold my artwork at farmers markets and fairs and even flea markets. Or I've gotten out there and I've played my guitar for people. You know, the digital world is convenient and is sometimes even a very useful place, but if it only becomes a tool for control, for propaganda, you know, ruled by an AI system, not by humans, well then I guess I'll opt for the real world again. For selling my art at farmers markets, for example. The digital world or dimension, if you prefer, and while those that are trying to control it, I think they need to realize, well, I do like the digital world, you know, YouTube and video games and music, etc. But I don't need it. You know, in the end, even with all the money that's been spent creating it, I mean trillions of dollars, armies of programmers, and tons of copper and precious metals building data centers, you know, the internet and 5G and AI assistants, and I mean it goes on and on, doesn't it? I mean, what number iPhone are they on now? I mean, all of this effort, all of these resources, and if you look at it, what have they built? You know, what have they actually accomplished for the human race with all of this? Convenience. It's really all they've done. Given us some convenience. I'll be happy to keep using the digital world as long as it stays a place that, well, remains a place for humans. But if they're going to take that away from me, I'm just going to go back to the real world. I mean, honestly, I've lived in a world where, well, none of this existed. I was born before 1985, so I think I can deal with a non-digital universe. You know, as crazy as the 1970s were, it was a pretty great time to grow up, you know? I think that's partially because there was no digital world, just a real one.